I'd like to invite up onto stage Erik. Where's Erik? Erik Edin, who is the CEO of Homevest in Sweden. Thank you, Erik.
Is my audio on? Yes. So I'm from Homevest. We're making mortgages borderless. And so we heard a bit about mortgages earlier in this presentation, so really exciting that I'm on trend today. So what is Homevest? How did this get started? Me and my co-founder Petru, we have long experience living in London together, working at Wise and Generation Home. And we were both planning to move back home after the pandemic. I got 2 kids. I was tired of London. And I thought, well, I know mortgages. I got good credit, got a decent income, got a good deposit. Getting a mortgage back home should be a piece of cake. And I called my bank, and they said, sorry, can't have one. I called a second bank, and I called every bank in Sweden. And when I was speaking to the sort of bad credit banks, I was starting to think, wow, this might not work out for me. And that's when it struck me that cross-border mortgages are fundamentally broken in Europe. It's a very local affair today. And together with my co-founder Petru, we are doing something about this today. So the problem with cross-border mortgages is that for the buyer, it's an unfamiliar market. You don't know how it works, who to contact, who the right players are. And even for me as a local abroad, I didn't know which banks I had to go to and which person in the bank I needed to speak to qualify for the mortgage. It's also an incredibly frustrating and time-consuming process, figuring out which bank will offer it to you and getting the right documents. It can take months if you don't speak to the right person. And also getting the best deal is not enough with just one bank. You have to have several. This is very true here in Spain, where we're active right now. And the existing brokers are not very good. They're expensive, and they offer a low-quality service, which we can see from some of the testimonials that we get. A lot of our customers are coming from the sort of more traditional brokers, being disappointed and finding Homevest. So what are we doing about this? We're building a platform for mortgages where we connect non-resident buyers looking to buy properties in Spain with a mortgage directly with the banks. We have a digital platform where the banks assess and underwrite these cases and issue the offers back to the client in a way that you get a quick reply, you get a great offer, and it's minimal overhead both for you as the applicant and for us as the broker and for the bank. Banks also love our AI-enabled workflows where we make sure that the deals getting through them have been pre-underwritten by us and our AI document processing engine to make sure that every deal is high quality. And lastly, a really exciting thing we're working on right now is to enable real estate agents in Spain to effectively be the mortgage broker for these mortgages. So we're putting our solution into their hands, and they can help the client navigate the mortgage process in the Spanish market, which is going to supercharge the customer experience. Right now, we're doing 5 mortgages per month. We're live in Spain and Romania, converting 2.2% of our leads into mortgages here in Spain. And we've done 1.8 million mortgage value, converting at 0.7% into revenue of 13,000. The Spanish market is worth about 5 billion annually in cross-border lending volume. Europe's about 12 billion. And with the real estate product, we think we can crack also the domestic mortgage brokering market across Europe and bring about this vision we have of borderless mortgages, where it doesn't matter where you're based or where you're buying the property, you can always find the financing. We're collaborating with the best banks here in Spain. We got I would say, the best mortgage brokering product in this market for non-residents, and also have partnerships with leading banks around Europe in Italy, Romania, Greece, Portugal. Our customers love it. 4.8 stars on Trustpilot. Here's Sandra saying she was surprised by how awesome the experience was from our side. And our bank partners really love the platform we've built for them, where they can underwrite the cases we bring to them. They love that it's mobile friendly, that they can get documents reviewed quickly, and they don't have to struggle with their own crappy internal systems when assessing our cases. We're a mortgage broker. We make 1% of cross-border mortgages. We expect to make about 0.5% on domestic, and there's also a big add-on slice where we make 0.75% on introductions to real estate agents. There's legal services, there's valuations, and more attached to the home purchase. We're live in Spain and Romania, and we have a beta in Portugal, Italy, and Greece. We're acquiring customers right now at zero CAC through SEO and partnerships. We've spoken to many of you from the portal side here today, and we'd love to speak to many more. We're working with ImmoScout, Hemnet, and Immobiliare to source leads from them and help them monetize their international buyers from their sites. We're planning to grow quickly, so the product's ready. We're ready to scale quickly in Spain through SEO, content marketing, partnerships, online ads, and then market expansion into adjacent markets and beyond around Europe. This is the team. Me and Petra are the co-founders from background in Wise and Generation Home, and Nicholas, Joanna, and Delia also working with us. And we're raising 2 million euros for our seed round to make mortgages borderless. So we'd love to speak to investors about that too. Thank you.
Right.
That's a great presentation. So you used to be able to get these in offshore banks, at least you'd get a mortgage for any country in the world. There are two issues. One is your income, two is the value of the property you're going to buy. So I like the way you're doing that, where you're actually going to the banks in the country that you're buying the property, but how do you validate the income of the person who is abroad?
Yes, and that's the thing the banks struggle with too, right? So how do they actually do these great mortgages for these high quality, often high net worth individuals with a Canadian tax form, with a Hong Kong tax form? And that's where we come in, right? So we have the expertise, we've figured out all the documents by country, and we get the right document from the customer, and we build the trust with the bank, so that when we tell them, this is the document you need from Canada, they look at that and say, yep, looks good, we'll accept it.
So do you only have a certain limit of countries that people can be buyers from, or is that?
Yes, and that's based on the banks in the country. So in Spain, for instance, banks give the best criteria to locals, then it's Spaniards abroad, then it's Euro earners, then you go GBP, USD, Nordics, and then it's everything else.
And is it more expensive to get a mortgage if you're applying from overseas?
It's very competitive in Spain,
market?
So you can get a good deal, and especially if you're making the banks compete a bit, they'll come down to something that's quite similar to a local deal.
Okay, and what about the deposit? Is the deposit the same, or is it higher?
Spanish nationals abroad, 80% LTV, others 70%, unless you're buying for over $1 million, in which case you can get it fully financed, 100%.
Fantastic, thanks.
I agree. Good pitch and very interesting business, and certainly a big opportunity. So the couple of questions I had was, first of all, how long has this been happening for? How long have you been operating?
So we raised our first round about a year ago. We've been live in Romania, which was our first market, for about a year and a bit. Not a great market, to be honest. We switched to Spain. Our whole focus is here right now. It's a fantastic market. And I would say over the past month, we got all the bank partners on board, so we can confidently say we have the best product for non-residents. And so we've been doing mortgages in Spain since May.
Since May. I mean, having had some exposure to this in the past, getting all those banks to agree to give you access via API, and that's a long process.
Yes,
so.
and the trick there is no API. We get them to whitelist our API, and they underwrite the cases on our domain.
They use your platform?
They use our platform to leave notes, to review documents. The risk team still wants the PDFs in the bundle over there, but the whole process up until risk team goes through our platform.
Okay, and then to expand on what Ryan's question around verification of documents, you've been able to collect, or to collate rather, what documents are required, for instance, in Canada versus Australia versus other markets, based on the rules set by the banks.
Yes.
But the verification of those documents, are you taking that risk, or is the bank taking the risk?
We don't take the risk, but we do the work for them. So we go through all the documents with a combination of OCR and OpenAI. We summarize each document, and we'll pinpoint in your bank statement, here's the line with the income. And then the risk team just checks the line instead of having to go through all of your bank statements.
Okay. It's interesting. In Spain, normally everything needs to be notarized on paper. The last question is, why go after local market? And why not stick with cross-border, because it's a big enough opportunity for you?
Just market size. Once you have the best products, all the bank partners, and the software with the banks on it, it just makes sense to go after the whole market, because why not? The Spanish brokering market is completely underserved. It's less than 10% of volume through brokers, and there's no reason it should be that way. So we think we can get that up to UK levels, which is more like 70, 80%, and the rest goes for all of Europe as well.
Thank you, Eric. Very interesting. Yes, well, the Spanish market it doesn't go through brokers because normally you go to your bank, which is a Spanish bank. That's one of the issues. No, I was going to ask. So you're saying that your cost of acquisition for customers is zero. Obviously, it's not going to be the case in the future once you start doing some marketing, etc. And I was wondering, how would you do that? How are you going to? What's your strategy there? Because it could be a Canadian, it could be someone from Sweden. How are you planning to do that?
With the real estate agents or with the
real estate through real estate agents?
Yeah, so there's partnerships, or we continue doing that. We would like to have all of you using Homevest in the near future. Welcome to contact us. We can make some good money together. Then online ads, we've done marketing experiments where we pay £5 to £10 per lead, converting at about 2.2% into mortgages. So that's very profitable for us as well. But we've kept that back so far, focusing on the SEO side of things. But now we're seeing that we have the best product. There's no reason to hold back anymore. We want to double down and really win the Spanish market. And then, the last one was the real estate agents. How do we get them on board? We're right now doing the go-to-market there, speaking to all of the real estate agents that will speak to us. And we're seeing that they got a person at a bank they send leads to. And they're struggling right now because prices keep changing, interest rates keep changing, and they're not being able to convince customers that they can advise them on the mortgage anymore. And that's where we come in. We give them all the tools, our data, our offer data, and the platform so that they can again be the expert. They can make sure the customer gets the best offer every time through them, and they can close more business thanks to us.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.